The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome, this is the Gun Shop Show. I'm your host, Eli Bruton, owner of Liberty Tree Guns, and with me today is Trevor.
Hello.
And that's who you saw if you're watching on the live stream. That's what that gunfire was, is Trevor trying out his brand new concealed carry gun.
I love this thing, man. I'd say the biggest point for me, one, my hand fits on it, which is a big deal for me with carry guns. And also, it's comfortable to carry. I like the fact that I can carry 12 to 15 rounds if I want, as opposed to 6 or 7, depending upon the carry gun.
Yeah, and did you have to register that gun when you took it home?
I did a 4473, but I wouldn't call that a registration necessarily.
So that is what today's show is all about, is gun registry. We get questions all the time. This gun's not registered in my name, or how do I get this gun in my name? So we're going to break that down. We're also going to be joined by a really exciting guest.
Probably his first, what would you call that, interview?
Yeah, this guy, he's a little bit of an underground character. But you guys may remember Nathan the Liberal.
I remember him.
Nathan the Liberal was the guy that came in and made a video in Liberty Tree Guns.
Snuck in.
And it got a ton of views. And he was a little nervous to be in the store. He was breathing heavily.
Yeah, it's almost like he ran here, but he didn't. Also, what would you define as a ton, Eli?
There were 3.5 million views.
Oh, just a meager 3 million.
Yeah, just one, one out of 100 people in the country saw it. So
I would say that's like the population of at least a state, wouldn't you? Maybe even some cities.
Yeah, that's a lot of people saw that, and we got a lot of comments and questions about the Liberals. Entertaining, I'm sure, or at least interesting to have.
I think so.
On the show. So that's coming up.
I have one more thing I want to add, though, Eli.
Yeah.
In current times with what's happening in Minneapolis, I just want to put this into context. Last I looked, there was like 4 million people living in the metropolitan area of that. So you basically showed that video to the entirety of Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, yeah. And it was pretty funny because we actually had people in the gun industry sharing that back, not realizing that was happening in our store.
It boomeranged.
Yeah. So pretty good. We will reference that video and we'll talk with Nathan the Liberal. We're also going to give you a chance to get some free merch. But let's get right into gun registration. What is it? What does it mean to you? And we use the example of Trevor's carry gun, which we shouldn't go on without mentioning what it is.
Oh, it is the SIG P365. And something to note with that, I have never chosen a firearm like I did this firearm. It just, everything about it, man.
And for our new listeners, Trevor came to Liberty Tree Guns because of his expertise in web development and graphic design. He had helped me design the Liberty Tree Guns logo and wasn't particularly a Second Amendment guy or a gun enthusiast. And so he made a purchase or two since he started, just kind of as a, you felt the need to have something for personal defense. But it wasn't until this time that I noticed you especially take an interest in the features and everything with this gun. It's taken the world by storm, but it took Trevor by storm.
It took me by storm. SIG, hey, listen. If you want to make that marketing material, you can go ahead and do that.
They have your permission.
It took Trevor by storm.
Sig Sauer.
I'm a trendsetter.
I heard a little bit of news about Sig Sauer, and the headline was Sig Sauer bankrupt.
Oh man, that's well. I don't know. Maybe the price of their magazines will go down now.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of a misleading headline, but Sig Sauer, they're originated in Germany. That's where the name comes from. And they had almost morphed into two companies. There was Sig Germany and then Sig USA. And the political climate in Germany has become increasingly not friendly to gun manufacturing there. And they just announced that they're going to have to close that German factory. And I believe that it's just that wing of the company. I saw a few media outlets kind of running with Sig Sauer bankrupt and everybody panicking.
Oh, are you telling me that people are right, articles are writing headlines that make you click on them when you know they're
yeah, indeed.
tiny bit true or even a tiny bit untrue?
So it's unfortunate, and those that are nostalgic about Sig Sauer being made in Germany, and you know, some of their guns are marked West Germany from when that was you know, a factor, and some of those are more collectible. But for you as the end consumer on most of their SKUs that they sell, you're not going to see any kind of disruption or issue owning a SIG or having warranty repair on a SIG. But it does look like that German factory going down. That's
a bummer, man. A few generations back, my family too left Germany.
Is that where you hail from?
A little piece of me.
Yeah, part of you left Germany.
A little piece of me came from Germany.
Yeah, that's probably what's the case with your SIG P365. Pieces of it came from Germany, but the rest of it's from the US of A.
Came home to be with me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about gun registration. And I asked you, I put you on the spot, did you register that? And you said, I don't think so. The truth is you did not, because there is no gun registration in Missouri.
Probably not in the way that most folks would think, right? I mean, isn't the 4473 in and of a way some sort of registration? I mean, you're putting your name on paper with a serial number.
No, it's not a registration, although it is documentation of your purchase, and I have a paper 4473 in my hands, so I'm going to break that down because I want our listeners to know what is in play, what information is being recorded, who is being submitted to. But there's no registry like you think of registering a vehicle.
Right.
So let me repeat that. If you're listening on the radio, you're watching the live stream, your gun is not registered. If you bought it from Liberty Tree Guns, your gun is not registered unless you are listening from California, Hawaii, Washington, D.C., or New York, or Maryland, or Connecticut. There's a few exceptions where there are actual statewide registries, which means the serial number from your gun is tied to you as a person.
A quick question on that, Eli, something that came to mind. What if you live outside of those states? Did you happen to catch anything on that? You live outside of those states and then you move into that state with those firearms. Are you required to register those firearms?
Only in California, from what I read. So the only state that requires new residents to go retroactively register them when they move in is California. From my understanding, and I'm not an attorney, I'm not an expert on all of the state's laws, you don't have to register anything but new purchases that you make once you become a resident. So you could pack up and move there. But California does require you to say, hey, these are the guns that I have that I'm bringing into the state. Thankfully, we don't have that in Missouri. We don't have handgun permits anymore. So back in the 90s, the 1990s, it was required that if you wanted to purchase a pistol, you had to go to the county sheriff's office and get permission and be issued a purchase permit for every single individual handgun that you wanted to buy.
And what were the stipulations, do you know?
As far as like what criteria they used to check that?
Yeah.
I don't think... I think it was sort of like a pre-NICS check, and they were also recording who requested permission to buy a handgun, which that is not recorded in a database any longer. So
make sure you don't have any like background mental issues or...
I'm not sure. It turned out that there didn't seem to be any sociological benefit to doing that.
Right.
So when they quit, violent crime didn't increase, gun violence didn't increase. So I'm thankful that we don't have to go through that anymore. But when people, sometimes I'll have a vague recollection of, well, I remember having to go get a permit or do something like that. That has not been the case since the about 1995, if memory serves.
I find it intriguing that the fact that even became a thing, right? So they abolished that, and then gun crime doesn't go up, or crime doesn't go up as a result of that. What initiated in the first place? What events transpired? I mean, it's hard to imagine that someone would just come up with an idea to basically oppress people's rights through permit, and then through legislation that gets removed. What would have caused that? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it kind of makes me wonder. You take another example, like at what point did they decide that people who cut hair need to have all this special license? And at what point did we do that? And, like most government exists oftentimes to serve itself, and it comes down to money.
Right.
And it would be obvious if they said, pay us and you can do business, like the mob model.
Right.
But that's what it is.
This is for your protection.
So they have to shroud that revenue generation in reasons.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, in order to keep you safe, we need you to do these things. So we are going to talk about what you do have to do when you buy a gun and what's recorded in the segment coming up. So make sure you stick with us on the Gun Shop Show.
The Ruger Security 9 LTO, an exclusive new firearm only from Liberty Tree Guns. This is an affordable pistol that comes with Ruger's renowned reliability and workmanship, and comes with an optic with a 3-year warranty. If you haven't ever shot a pistol with an optic on it, it's a lot of fun and you can really acquire a target quickly. The Ruger Security 9 LTO, an exclusive new firearm only from Liberty Tree Guns. This is an affordable pistol that comes with Ruger's renowned reliability and workmanship, and comes with an optic with a 3-year warranty. If you haven't ever shot a pistol with an optic on it, it's a lot of fun and you can really acquire a target quickly. All right, Ruger Security 9 LTO unboxing. So it pretty much obviously comes with everything the Ruger Security 9 would already come with, and this is how they look in the box. Ruger started doing this insert in the box, which is kind of nice. We've had to modify it a little bit to make sure that your optic fits. So there's a cutout so the cover can go on and then the gun can fit right here in that. They come with 2 mags, so a lot of price point guns, you're just getting 1 mag, but you get 2 15 round, OEM mags. A couple little bonuses is the optic comes with the AR mounts. So if you want to pull this optic off and run it on an AR, you've got everything that you need. That's a freebie, just comes in the box. Once we pull this insert out, here's where all the goodies that come with the optic. Got a 3-year warranty on the Firefield optic, the user manual. It has the tools for both mounting the optic if you want to take it off, and also the adjustment screwdriver for the windage and elevation, and then all of the factory information for your pistol. So this is the format that those will come in. And again, guys, remember, this is an option if you are excited to try out an optic on a pistol and you want to do it for a price point. So these at this price are cheaper than some guys are paying for just an optic. You're getting the gun and the optic. You can get the price and all the details at libertytreeguns.com. Just search LTO.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. We're talking about gun registration and the fact that your gun is not registered. Let me repeat that. Your gun is not registered unless you live in a minority of states.
Yeah, nor as of right now will you have to have it registered.
Correct. But I know that people are going to hear that and say, but wait a minute. I had forms I had to fill out, and I put my name on that when I bought the gun. So how do you sit there and tell me that it's not registered? So we're going to break that down. We're going to tell you what those forms that you remember filling out are and their function and what they do. But first, I want to tell you about a free offer for you, the listener. And that is to get one of our Liberty Tree Guns decals. And if you're tuning in for the first time, this is the Gun Shop Show all about firearms and an inside look in the gun business. And it comes to you from the sales floor of the best gun shop in the world, my store, Liberty Tree Guns, located here in Carthage. And we are offering our company decal, which is the original Liberty Tree depicted in circle format with Liberty Tree Guns on it. This is a UV protected, outdoor rated decal for your car or toolbox or gun safe, wherever you want to put that up. You can get that for absolutely free. What do you have to do, Trevor?
All you got to do, Eli, here, let me show you. Just go to libertytreeguns.com. This is a desktop version here. If you're on a PC, you just go to Liberty Tree merch and then go to, I think just merch, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah, you just go to merch.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I asked you to tell the listener. And you just go to Liberty Tree merch, and then what you're going to find is the Liberty Tree Guns decal right there on screen. And what's the price on that?
$0 and 0 cents.
Zilch. Nada. None is how much you have to pay for the decal.
I don't know if you noticed this, Eli, but right next to it, Liberty Tree Guns koozie for the low price of 0 cents.
You let the cat out of the bag.
I did.
Hey, these two guys, our salesmen, are over here staring at me. They're going to have to be forced to be impromptu co-hosts on the show if they keep that up.
They got time on their hands, huh?
Yeah, they're looking at me, giving me funny looks. Come meet those guys, by the way. Those particular two, Remington. Yes, that's his real name.
Is his last name Steele?
No.
I don't even know that reference. I just know the name Remington Steele. Now I have to look up Remington Steele.
I don't know what that means. But Rob and Remington, two guys you should get to know, salesmen in the store at Liberty Tree Guns. So come by and see them. Also, get your free merch. I was only going to plug the decal, but Trevor let the koozie out of the bag. So now it's both.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. I mean, I like giving stuff away. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's easy for Trevor to bring up because he doesn't have to buy the stuff that we give away.
Right. Call me out.
But I'm happy to do it because I like it when people who believe like we believe and feel like we feel about guns put our stuff on their stuff.
Right. And also, that was a genuine discovery by my point. So I imagine I'm the viewer and I went there, even on mobile. I found it and went to Liberty Tree merch, click merch, and boom, I'm seeing side by side 2 freebies. I can't pass that up.
And it doesn't matter where you are listening from. If you want this decal, I'll even ship it to you for free.
Free.
So you just go to libertytreeguns.com, click merch, get the decal for free, and I'll even cover shipping. If you want to get some of the other free items, which I believe right now is just the koozie, you'll have to pay like a couple bucks for shipping. That just covers our cost and shipping, but you get the koozie for free. And you could throw like decal and koozie together, get it all shipped to you. Or you can place your order there and pick it up in store.
Yeah, if you're buying something, get the sticker for free.
Absolutely.
By the way, Eli, Remington Steel was a TV series from 1982.
Oh, well, right up your alley.
Right, yeah. I was born in 1980. I was a baby.
Yeah, you were checking that out as a toddler.
I was drinking my Baba and watching Remington Steel, I'm sure.
You know, there's something so off-putting about grown men talking like babies.
Right, but, I was channeling my inner baby.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I was trying to channel it.
I have an infant home, and I realize without the context of holding the infant, when you talk in baby talk, it's just not a good.
Not right.
No,
Feels wrong.
Okay, so
what about gun registration?
Yeah,
man?
let's get back to that. Let's talk about gun registration. So, I mentioned that your guns are not registered in Missouri. So people will argue with me. They'll say, hey, I got this gun, and my brother-in-law gave it to me for Christmas, and I want to get it registered in my name. As much as I would like to help you, there is no registry. So what does that mean? That means if you buy a gun, and don't do this, by the way.
Okay, I won't buy a gun.
No. Don't do what I'm about to say.
Oh, okay.
Do buy a gun from Liberty Tree Guns. You can do that at libertytreeguns.com. But you can put any gun on layaway too, by the way.
That's right.
You can do that in store.
10% down with 90 days.
10% down, 90 days. Any gun that you want. Anything you see behind me, those are all for sale. So in an SKS, we've got a Just Right carbine, which is 9mm rifle that takes Glock mags. We have a Springfield M1A. I'm going to have to slide out of the way for you to see that one, but you can get all of those. Those are like 10% down. So that SKS, which won't last long, at $399.
Yeah, those things don't last long, do they?
No, because they're
collector's items, aren't they?
right. There's not going to be any more of them imported because it is now prohibited to get any arms from the country of Russia, and that's the origin of the SKS. And so that gun would be $39.
Down.
That's it. You just go pay $39, and then you have 90 days to pay for it. So you can do that at any time.
I bet it would probably be like a pack of cigarettes and a soda a day or something like that.
Yeah,
you
that's
give
what
up drinking soda and give up smoking
That
and
would
dedicate
do
that
it.
money to it. You would have that gun, and then you would have the value of that gun too.
Yeah, in perpetuity. Okay, but here's what I'm going to tell you not to do.
Okay.
You could buy a gun, drive down the road, and toss it out the window of your car. And if a police officer, whomever, a government agent, were to find that gun or get turned into them, they could not look up the serial number. There's no database to type in that serial number and see who that gun belongs to.
Right.
So when I say there's no registry, there's no database that connects individual firearms to a person. That's why if you want to loan a friend a gun for any reason, like say they're going pheasant hunting and they don't have a gun that's appropriate for it, you can give them that gun. They can take it with them. They can use it lawfully, just as if it were their own gun. All the same laws and regulations would apply. So could that officer, what recourse would he have to try to determine that? First, he could check it for stolen, which there is a database where stolen guns or other items are entered into. In Missouri, it's called mules, but it's just the
How do you spell that?
mules like the animal.
Oh, MULES.
Yeah,
okay.
it's an abbreviation for Missouri something law enforcement system. I don't remember
Right.
exactly, but it's the universal system that they would enter in a gun as stolen. So, for example, if you have, this is why it's important to record your serial numbers. They would not have a way to look that up and match it to you. Now, there is a method that they could trace it all the way from the manufacturer back to the sale. We'll talk about that after the break.
It would be one thing to just tell you about our deal of the week, the 12 Survivors Pocket Water Filter, but it would be even better just to show you. We came down to the Spring River bottom where the water is famously bad, and Trevor is gonna get me some water. Let's get in there.
Yeah, let's get some dirtiness in there. Nice and dirty. Oh yeah. Look at all that gross.
Let's get some out of this puddle. Scrape it in there nice and deep like. Scoop it.
Oh yeah, look at all that nasty mud. You think it'll taste like chocolate? Artifacts.
Alright, our deal of the week, the 12 Survivors Pocket Water Filter. Filters out Salmonella, Giardia, pretty much every bad kind of bacteria, and makes water completely safe to drink. I've got the little pre-filter on there, so here we go.
So good.
Actually, it's not bad. Like, it just tastes like regular water. That's really impressive. The 12 Survivors Pocket Water Filter is the deal of the week from Liberty Tree Guns. Getting it supports the gun shop show. You can get it on libertytreeguns.com. Has some really cool features, and it makes even the nastiest water safe to drink. There's a pre-filter that really is just designed to get the sediment out. If the water's cleaner than this, you don't need the pre-filter, but it's also threaded. So that'll thread right onto a normal water bottle or soda bottle. So if you're in a survival situation, you could scoop out the water into a water bottle, thread this on top, carry it with you, and make it safe to drink. Or carry them separately, thread it on just when you need to drink. So get it, libertytreeguns.com.
Kids are curious by nature. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home by doing these simple tasks. Consider gun locks and/or gun safes for storage of firearms. Don't leave your guns unattended where children could reach them. Discuss with your children the rules of firearm safety. Sign your kids up for hunter safety classes. Firearm safety in the household is your responsibility. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home. For more information, visit jaspercountysheriff.org.
We are back on the Gun Shop Show. Trevor's looking at me like, what are you doing? Not letting the theme song do its thing.
I gotta be able to cut you out of that.
The theme song has been pretty popular, at times controversial, but that means it's working.
Yeah.
So prior to the break, we were talking about, could you theoretically, and by the way, don't do this, be always responsible with your firearms. But if you were to be separated from your firearm, if it were to, in the example of being tossed out the car window, could they connect it back to you? No, there's no database. But there is a system of tracking how firearms go from inception to being created to their at least last documented location. And that is mostly regulatory control on manufacturers, wholesalers, and then folks like us, retailers that sell guns.
Right.
So I want to go down the topic of what is that form. You referenced it by the number. That this is the thing that people remember doing that prompts them to think, well, I registered my gun.
Yeah, I can see why that is. It's a very formal document.
Yeah, so that is the NICS Instant Background Check form, which is FBI form number 4473. You'll hear gun dealers like us call them 4473s. Unfortunately, that is just some jargon. Yet again, gun guys throwing around random numbers that is applied to this form. And what that is a instant background check form. It is to check you for the reasons that you could be prohibited from owning a firearm. So I'm going to read what exactly is the NICS system. And this is from FBI.gov. It says, mandated by the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act of 1993, the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, aka NICS, was established for federal firearms licensees, FFLs, that's us, to contact by telephone or electronic means for information to be supplied immediately on whether the transfer of a firearm would be in violation of Section 922, Title 18, United States Code, or state law. The Brady Act is a public record and is available from many sources, including the internet at atf.gov. So the NICS background check system is a nearly instantaneous background check that checks for things that would prohibit you lawfully from owning a gun. And the main function of that form is to identify the purchaser and to establish whether or not they are admittedly in violation of these terms. And if I recall, we had some voicemails on this topic.
We got voicemails?
We got voicemails.
Okay.
Are you prepared with the voicemails?
I think I am. Are you prepared?
I'm always prepared to check the voicemail. I'll get my voicemail phone out.
Okay.
That's how you know I'm prepared.
What are the odds?
What are the odds that phone just rang just now whenever I was talking about voicemails?
I know, man. It's magic.
And people, they want to hear from us on topics related to guns, and they can do that by leaving us a voicemail.
Right. Yeah. 208-918-1776.
He did it again, folks. He jingled on the spot.
On the spot.
That is the San Francisco treat.
The San Francisco treat, indeed.
All right, curious.
All right.
I'm getting it out.
All right. Is it as awkward this time as it was last time?
No, it's fine.
No? This is how you get the phone out? This is just normal getting the phone out behavior. A lot of slamming and jamming over there. Probably not nearly as many jams as we rock out when we play that intro, which,
That's
by
true.
the way...
More jam than a Schmucker's commercial.
I appreciate that joke, by the way.
Thank you. That was original stuff right there.
I'm absorbing it right now. But what happened last time that we did the intro to this? We were going to rock out so hard on the air. Drums, which my drums are over here, by the way. That's why, there, by the way, but
Yeah.
you can't see.
Right.
I always have to step away.
Did something happen last time? 'Cause
Yeah,
I know
man.
we really were hitting the
First-
intro hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for us to pay attention to what's going on, but for some reason, all of a sudden, Logan was trying to pull start I believe it was an air blower, which I know he's
Like
not.
a leaf blower?
Yeah, a leaf blower. Which, by the way, you may not have noticed. He's not here right now. He's
we'll
probably
miss you.
out. He's probably out yakking, and that's hip for kayaking.
Oh, is that the
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what all the cool hips are saying now.
Speaking of yakking, I was gone this week
Mm-hmm.
near a body of water, and I saw people paddleboarding, and that looked kind of fun.
You got near a body of water for vacation time?
Yeah, I took a little trip with the fam,
Oh, that
and
sounds like fun.
I've yacked a few times, although I didn't know it was called that.
Right.
But paddleboarding looked pretty interesting. It's similar to kayaking, but you're just standing up.
Oh, okay. Because I would imagine it would be like a door or something that you're standing on. I don't know why a door. Just a plank of wood.
Well, the ones I saw were plastic, but it does look like that. It's just a flat thing. You stand on it, and you are standing, but you're pushing yourself across the water. It looked like good exercise, good
It
fun.
reminds me in my mental picture of this, like some old school raft or something, like Huckleberry Finn-esque.
That's not what it is.
Okay.
Hey, we need to check the voicemail.
Let's
We
do
need
it.
to finish talking about the 4473
Let's do
because
it.
we have an exciting guest coming up,
We do.
Nathan the Liberal. Mm-hmm. And many of you enjoyed getting a good laugh out of Nathan the Liberal last time he made an appearance. So it should be interesting to hear from him again today.
But are you ready to get ZZ Top Gun?
Yeah, let me get him
guitar out.
Okay, we're not going to have any technical.
I got ZZ drumsticks ready to go, which by the way, I took your guitar name and gave it to my drumsticks.
Yeah, that was a listener assign.
Mm-hmm.
They probably don't appreciate that. So each show, because we don't have time during the week, because we're professionals and we're selling guns.
That's right.
We don't have time to create a intro segment for checking the voicemail, which we do right here on our proprietary voicemail checking technology.
Yeah, we developed that.
This is our own thing, okay? You can't buy this anywhere. Mm-hmm. It's a mechanism with which we connect to the voicemail box live on the air, but we have to do that intro on the fly every week.
Yeah, we don't have any way to. We want to keep it fresh.
Yeah, we want to be doing that
Yeah.
for you each time. So I just get my guitar out and we kind of just go from memory.
Okay.
I usually break a string,
Yeah, you usually do.
but I got it. I'm fixed up. So
Okay.
I think I'm ready. Whenever you are, just hit that.
Okay, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you ready to check the voicemail?
Yeah.
Wow, dude. I looked up in the middle of that. Oh, man.
Yeah. I was flinching because I thought those sticks are going to be coming at me.
I know. I lost a couple.
That was the hardest that we have rocked that I know of.
Yeah, guaranteed.
So
Anyway, let's check that voicemail.
let's check the voicemail. Roll voicemail number 1.
Hey guys, this is Jason from Carthage. I was just wondering how gun laws go towards registering a gun and owning a firearm while having your medical marijuana card here in Missouri. I've seen some conflicting info and just wondering if you can still purchase a firearm and legally register one in your name while, if you have a legal medical marijuana card. Thanks guys. Bye.
That's a good question,
That's
man.
an excellent question.
We actually get calls about that to the store.
It is, he said it seems to be conflicting information.
It
And
feels that way.
you know what it is? Mm-hmm. I don't like that I'm about to have to tell you what I'm about to have to tell you.
Right.
But it is expressly prohibited to purchase a firearm and be a user of marijuana. I'm going to read to you from the Form 4473. So I'll flash this up on the screen. I'll break down the exact reference to marijuana usage on the next Form 4473 right here on your favorite gun program, my favorite, The Gun Shop Show. Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is now brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth, located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, and that is the Emporium on the square and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes
And probably my favorite part is the burger and steak joint in the back. But when you walk in, you're in this 150-year-old great big building, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his originals and do framing for him. And it just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through. You have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back into my favorite part, that's the woodshed. I've spent a lot of nights and had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. They have catfish. I love their catfish. It's excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue. So this year or last year, we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. This is a photo that you're seeing that I took. And the ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing about it is not only is this my favorite place on earth, but it's owned by one of my favorite people on earth. That's Cherry Babcock. And she is the real deal. She takes care of her customers while they're hosting an event or catering or having a special art class or just their normal business of selling burgers and steaks. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed. All right, welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. We were talking about the use of marijuana, legal or otherwise, and how it affects gun ownership. And we were mostly talking in terms of legal, prescribed medical marijuana, which is becoming increasingly legal and popular across the United States.
Right, but unfortunately, that's at the state level, right? Not the federal, which the federal is what defines what's on the 4473, if I'm correct.
Yes, the FBI in conjunction with the ATF is what manages this. And so that's what we were talking about leading up to the break. But I want to remind you, we've got a couple things going before the end of the show. We're being joined by a special guest, Nathan the Liberal.
Should be here any moment.
Yeah, we talked about how to get your free merch. So if you missed that, go back and check out the podcast, available on all of the major podcast platforms or on Facebook and YouTube.
Share the stream.
Yeah, make sure you share the stream right now. So we have a big audience that interacts with us on the show on the Facebook and YouTube live streams. So make sure you share those. You can share in Facebook without leaving the stream. And I want to remind you that right now we're only 1 hour on the radio. Mm-hmm. But
soon,
that's about all to change. Okay, we're going to have our second hour. It's going to be huge on the radio. We're kicking off a national show on KZRG.
That's right.
Yeah,
get out of here.
Yeah, that's sorry, Kim Commando fans.
Mm-hmm.
But you are no longer. We're going commando on Kim Commando.
You call in, I'll give you tech support.
Going commando. That's the right term, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Don't call Trevor for tech support.
Yeah, don't call me for tech support.
I need him for tech support. Okay, so if we run out of time.
Let's mention the group, the Facebook group.
Oh, thank you. The Facebook group has been an awesome, fun community for the Gun Shop Show. We formed the Gun Shop Show Facebook group, which we'll drop the link in the comment feed right here in the live stream, where you can become part of not only the fan base for the show, but you can become part of the show. One of our users, or members, I should say, of the group showed off one of his guns on our last episode. Mm-hmm. And so we can support each other. We can have a community of Second Amendment supporting activists. And you can also make suggestions for things that you would like to see on the show. We're very receptive of that. And we have sort of a community thing going there. And we post some behind the scenes live streams and photos and things that happen as we prep for the show and things that happen here at Liberty Tree Guns.
That's right. Eli, Nathan should be on soon here in the next probably minute or so.
Okay, I'm going to cover where that says about marijuana. So on the form 4473, and you should be able to Google this form if you are curious what it looks like, or you can come by Liberty Tree Guns and familiarize yourself with it. But
on section 11C, and this is in the second half of the front page, which is all of the yes, no questions. There is the question, are you an unlawful user of or addicted to marijuana or any depressant, stimulant, narcotic drug, or any other controlled substance? Warning, big bold letters. The use or possession of marijuana remains unlawful under federal law, and regardless of whether or not it's been legalized or decriminalized for medical or recreational purposes in the state where you reside. So if you check yes that you're a user of marijuana, which you would, if you're a medical marijuana holder, you would have to answer that, we are prohibited from selling you this firearm. And the ATF has sent clarifying statements that medical marijuana card holders, if they make that known to you at the time of transfer, that we're not supposed to do the transfer. So we obviously follow those guidelines. I think that needs to change.
I believe the same.
If you're going to say that it's okay, and I think we're past the point of testing grounds of whether or not that's going to be a thing in the future. It's going to be a thing. So I never support restricting someone's Second Amendment rights, especially when engaging in an activity that's otherwise legal. So, but to answer your question, no, according to this, you can't have that transferred to you. Now, this is an unofficial statement from a source that I trust. Local law enforcement leaders have told me, in terms of concealed carry permits, that they don't check against the medical marijuana database. They're not been given any instructions to. So while this rule applies to me in terms of following this form, other restrictions may not mesh up just because there's no mechanism to say, look in that spot.
Right.
And criminally under unlawful use of weapons in Missouri, it says that it's only a crime and it's only a Class D felony of unlawful use of a weapon if you're in possession of a felony amount of controlled substance, which if you are, you have a permit card, then you wouldn't be a felony.
Right.
And therefore it wouldn't be automatically, and then again, I'm not an attorney, this is just my interpretation. The law says you can't have a felony amount of controlled substance and be in possession of a firearm. So there is some conflicting information that needs dealt with. I would always caution people, your Second Amendment rights are important. Don't jeopardize them over unnecessary recreational habits, but if you are prescribed that, you need to be aware that your government has prohibited you expressly from filling out a 4473 and being transferred a firearm.
Call your representatives.
Get that changed. Okay, so I want to remind you, if we run out of time here on the radio, if you're listening on News Talk KZRG, make sure you go to Facebook, go to the Liberty Tree Guns page, join the stream so you can see the rest of the show, and you also will get to check out the cool video feed right here in Liberty Tree Guns, and you'll see everything that we're talking about, and also join the Gun Shop Show Facebook page while you're at it.
Yeah, we'd like to see everybody there and talk to everybody.
And you're giving me the signal.
I am giving you the signal. We got somebody waiting, and he don't like to wait.
The guys, I don't know how this is going to go because this guy was not...
He wasn't invited.
No. And he was not so cool with what we do for a living here.
No. I think he almost came unglued.
All
Or
right.
did come unglued, actually, by the video that we came across.
So let's for first-time listeners, let's play just a little sample of our guest when he made his unannounced visit to Liberty Tree Guns.
Hey guys, this is Nathan the Liberal, and today for my vlog, I am at what I believe is called a gun house. Oh my god. My sources tell me this is a 30 caliber clip. This is a very scary place. I'm shaking just looking at him. I can feel the evil radiating off of these things, and I'm just afraid of getting shot, honestly. One of these things could shoot me at any moment.
All right, that's the man. That is from the video that he did, and I understand we have Nathan the Liberal on the phone for the first time ever on the Gun Shop Show.
Let me get him patched in real quick, Eli.
Okay,
and
so
we will.
Let's see, Nathan. Tell me if you can hear me. I hear you guys. You guys wouldn't leave me alone, harassing me the whole time, trying to get me on your stupid Gun Shop Show. You've been asking me for weeks. Well, we just, your video went viral, and you've obviously got a different perspective, and so we wanted to get you on the show. Why do you think that your video, your vlog, as you call it, got 3.5 million views? Well, not everybody's brave enough to go into a gun house. I'm out here risking my biscuits to expose the truth. What do you feel like is the truth? I mean, I respect, we had a deal. Yeah, by the way, are you holding up that deal? We were supposed to conceal my identity. If I find out that they can see me, I'm going to just come unglued, to be honest with you. Yeah, that was the deal, that you would keep your anonymity, because you said a lot of people reached out to you after you came in the store. And so that's the deal, and I'll honor that deal if you don't want your identity seen. But I've only seen the 2 times that you came into our store. Do you have more content? Yeah, I've got a vlog on the deep dark web. If you're smart like me, you'll know where to find it. So the gun episode was really popular, but do you have other topics? I have other topics, but people seem to be in love with firearms and things. Well, I have some questions for you, but we may have to come back from the break, because I think, Trevor, are we coming up on a break?
We're getting close, Eli.
Okay, so we have another voicemail, and we'll get to that, but I have some more questions for Nathan the Liberal. Trevor, I know that this has been a big deal. A lot of people reached out to you when Nathan first did his video, but is there anything that you want to know about Nathan the Liberal?
I mean, we can just ask it when we get back from the break.
Yeah, it's almost that time. Yeah.
Right?
So this is the guy that made himself famous by coming into the gun store in Liberty Tree Guns. And we have him on the line on the Gun Shop Show.
Gun registration is a must, and that's why we're here to help. Why let those city slickers do it for you? When you purchase your next firearm, you make sure you head on down to Jimmy's Gun Registration Shack and Snake Emporium. Find us just off the strip in historical Sarcoxie, Missouri. Jimmy's Gun Registration Shack and Snake Emporium.
Hey, podcast listeners and live stream viewers. I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership, and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters. And it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. And here's some photos of my trips to Colorado that we took in our RV from Mid-America RV. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of the lifetime RV warranty. So I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. And as you can see, they have a large inventory selection of trailers and fifth wheels, and they specialize in those. They don't carry any motorhomes or anything like that. So if you are in the market for a tow-behind RV of any size, from a little teardrop to a full-size trailer, I urge you to check out Mid-America RV. Now, we weren't sent any promotional material, so we decided, and this is from genuinely from my personal experience. There's a trip of me in Colorado in my Surveyor that I got from Mid-America RV. And so we decided we would make our own commercial for these guys since we believe in them so much. So, Trevor, I assume that you are prepared with material, right?
I'm going to jingle on the spot.
That you didn't make one ahead of time.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
Right.
And I'm actually a little nervous right now.
Can you put it on the lot?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it.
Let's refresh. And here we go.
They may not appreciate this.
Mid-America RV, the San Francisco treat.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not so hot at the making up of stuff, so I borrow from other people.
Okay, well, the point is, Mid-America RV will treat you right. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV.
The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
All right, welcome back. This is where all the cool kids hang out here on the live stream
So far.
of the Gun Shop Show. And we have the guy that caused quite a ruckus in our store on the line.
That's right.
We got calls from all over the country. One person actually thought that our guest was Rachel Maddow.
Rachel Maddow or Rachel Maddox? What's her name? It's Maddow, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure I just insulted him.
Yeah. And so we have Nathan the Liberal on the line, and he has not been super receptive to coming on the show, but we got him.
No, he's testy.
Yeah. And you had thought of some questions during the break that...
That's right.
So let's see if we can reconnect to him, and you ask whatever it was. Something piqued your interest.
Right. I'm ready to ask. So, Nathan, Trevor here. Just wanting to know, where would I find this deep dark web? Is that 4chan?
4chan wishes. If 4chan is like the standard of the dark web, this is like 8 or 9 or 10chan.
That is a lot of chans, Nathan.
That's how deep and dark my vlog is.
Well, Nathan, we can't help but ask. Would you be willing to be a show correspondent for the Gun Shop Show?
Trevor, I don't think that's such a good idea.
Well, it's too late. I'm already on board. As much as I hate you sickos, people watch that video a lot because apparently they were impressed with the fact that I could go into a gun house and expose the truth.
This will just give you another way to expose that truth, Nathan.
I want to know what's in it for me, but I will do it, okay? You have to keep your part of the deal, which is I can't have people be seeing who I am because I'm an investigative journalist, and I can't have my face out there connected to such a dangerous thing such as firearms.
Well, you do you, Nathan.
Trevor, I guess if he's willing to do it, let's give it a try. Let's see if he wants to be in on the Facebook group.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think he may have left us, Eli. We got disconnected, but it sounds to me I'll hook back up with him and see if he can start feeding us some videos.
Yeah, I mean, it's better at least, the old saying, keep your friends close.
Right.
And your enemies closer.
That's right.
I guess he's going to sneak in here and make videos anyway. Maybe we just keep our tabs on him.
I mean, another thing to consider is maybe he'll get on board with Second Amendment and owning firearms? You think it's going to happen?
I don't know. I've got my doubts.
He is an opinionated fella.
Yeah. He was worried that one of the guns was going to shoot him.
Hung on the wall.
Yeah. Okay, so we had one more voicemail, I think, that we wanted to get to.
That's right.
And then we want to remind everybody that we have a growing community in the Gun Shop Show Facebook group. We want to know what you think, what you'd like to see on the show. We've got some guests slated that are going to be exciting, and then we also want to have your input on who else should we get as a guest on the Gun Shop Show. So when you're ready, Trevor, let's cue that other voicemail, and we'll take care of that one.
Hey, Eli, this is Jeremy. I'm from Carthage. I was calling to find out what information I needed to give to possibly get a gun with a pending felony case that I've got going on right now. Could you please give me some information on what I need to do to maybe get a gun with this case pending? Thank you.
So it's important to draw the distinction between convictions and charges. Obviously we have a judicial system where we put an emphasis on making sure before we convict someone of a felony, but you cannot be a felon and own a firearm under Missouri law, and we also can't transfer you one as a dealer if you have a felony, both conviction, and that is labeled, let's see, which section is that? Okay, so 11C, have you ever been convicted in any court of a felony or any other crime in which a judge could have imprisoned you for more than 1 year? So if you have been convicted of a felony, you would have to answer that as a yes, and that would disqualify you from a purchase. But here's the second one that kind of is going to make this where you need to wait until you get this fixed. Because 11B says, are you under indictment or information in any court for a felony or any other crime in which a judge could imprison you for more than 1 year? And so if that's the case, and under indictment would mean being charged, have an ongoing court process, you are not allowed to make a firearm purchase from a licensed dealer. So unfortunately, that is something that obviously you need to get taken care of before you're going to be able to make a purchase. And, I always encourage people to be mindful. I know that sometimes there are things that it's the reason that we have a court system to prove our innocence, and sometimes there are things that are not as they seem, or you're falsely accused. But if you can avoid situations, might put you in that position.
Right.
And a lot of times it's otherwise well-intended people, but drugs and alcohol are the worst. Even alcohol, which is perfectly legal.
Right.
People have too much to drink, either while they have a firearm or while they're driving. Something bad happens, and it jeopardizes, not only is that irresponsible as a citizen, but it can undermine your Second Amendment rights. All right, so I think that answers that question. There's really no good way to be able to make a purchase if you have a felony case pending or a conviction for a felony. So if you have any other questions, post those in the Facebook group or drop them in the comments. Also, please remember to share this feed, get the podcast. Please rate the podcast on the podcast platform. So if there's a star rating, which I know there is on some of them, please take a second, give us a few stars, share it. Because that's how we spread the word and keep this going.
Right. It's always going to be, if there's 5 stars, it's 5 stars. If it's 4 stars, there's 4 stars. I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Give us the most amount of stars.
If there's not any stars, make there be stars.
Yeah. Ask for stars and then apply them to the Gun Shop Show. So we have apparently made a deal with Nathan the Liberal.
It looks like we have, Eli. And, That video, there's so many things. I didn't even get a chance to ask him about why he would be mindful to give the price of a firearm. Maybe he knows the deal when he sees it.
Yeah, that guy, some people were real concerned, for him.
Oh, yeah.
And how exasperated he was. So at least this way we'll get to know that he's going to be okay.
Yeah, and who knows what's going to happen. I'm an optimistic fella. I'm hoping that, we get to know him. We become best friends. Pool parties.
Yeah.
Barbecues.
One of the things that he indicated was, as much as he hates it, that was his most popular video. Mm-hmm. And he's not sure why, but I think that's probably why he said yes.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he sees a path forward to, I guess, getting his truth out.
He's out there, what did he say, risking it?
Risking those biscuits, or biscuit risk. I don't know, something about biscuits.
Yeah, he's out there crusading. He needs to get the truth out there.
That's right.
For his YouTubers.
Mm-hmm. And it seemed like if I remember correctly, one time he stopped to order a latte in the I don't know, it was a soy latte
he
or
did.
something like that.
He left us a voicemail on the voicemail.
Oh, that's right.
Which if you remember, you can leave a voicemail for the Gun Shop Show. All you have to do is call 208-918-1776. Any gun-related question, or really anything goes. As we learned last week, we had a pretty entertaining call. So
yeah, there was Cummins Diesel.
Yeah,
talking about his mower and dog.
I didn't follow it, but I was.
Man, I've listened to
entertained.
it. I've listened to it 3 times since then. Yeah, still not sure what's going on.
I'm not either, but
there's murder wasps, a lawnmower, and Charlene. So a cast of characters. And I know this might seem like we probably set that up, but no. We have no idea who that is. And Vladimir, for that reason, who knows?
That's a Gun Shop Show listener.
I love the fact that somebody named Vladimir just decides to, not that it doesn't matter that they're named Vladimir, but the fact that somebody just called and did that is great. So whoever you are, thank you. That's very entertaining, and we hope to hear from you soon. You become a character on our show.
Gun Shop Show. So we have some exciting store news, which I'll go ahead and share a little bit of it with you. Can't talk about all of it yet because it's still kind of in the works. But Trevor and I have been discussing creating a unique piece of video content for every used gun. And that's a big bite to take.
It is. It's almost overwhelming when you think about every gun.
Yeah, it was overwhelming to make sure we photographed and wrote a unique description for every used gun. We committed to that, and we saw an increase in our sales. So this has been an awesome show. Got some other news coming up, but we'll share that with you in the Facebook group. So please go to Facebook, join the Gun Shop Show group, and we'll see you next week on the Gun Shop Show.